Welcome to video pill number 9. Here we will show you all of the Zoom functions that you can use to create a great flipped class. First of all, you have to log into your Zoom account, and we do recommend to have a premium account to be able to use more advanced features such as breakout rooms, polls and quizzes, and the whiteboards. When you have done this, you should go to the settings of your Zoom account and obviously go through the settings that you want to have. But the most important thing is to go to view more settings. So here you are at your profile and your Zoom settings. You go down to account management, account settings, and there's quite a few of settings you can have in Zoom, but we will today show you the most important ones. So the most needed options in Zoom is the meeting polls and meeting quizzes options, where you can create polls and quizzes. This should be clicked enabled. Also, the whiteboards need to be enabled for you to use them, and the breakout rooms, which is one of the best options that you can have in Zoom to break out your class in different groups. There you go, with the breakout rooms. You would like to click that, and also broadcast message, broadcast voice, and allow yourself to see activity status in each of the breakout rooms. Now you're ready for your next step. What you can do is to create a flipped class channel for you and your students. So you will go to team chat and you will click the option of creating a channel. Flipped class language. And here you can invite all of your participants. You can make it public if you want to. In this channel, you can share voice messages, files, screenshots, and we suggest that you use the channel to communicate with your students and share the needed links and activities with your students. Here you can add the info, you can add the whiteboards, and you can also invite all of the members that you want by email. So now you have your channel, you have your meeting, you have your whiteboard, and there are still some things you need to create prior to your class. You can try out your meeting by starting it beforehand. Now let's become the flipped teacher. And here you can see that you have all of your needed activities enabled, such as polls, such as whiteboards, and also the breakout rooms. Now we will have a look at the polls and quizzes, which is something that you can use as an assessment for your students. Here we'll show you how to create a quiz or a poll. This will take you to your browser, to your Zoom account. And here you can create a quiz or a poll. Let's do a poll, and we will add it to the meeting. So this can be a good option for a reflection poll. So you can have something like, how much did I learn today? Where you will have a 1 to 5 scale. Now, this poll can be used in the beginning of the class as a check-in, like what was the hardest thing for me to learn from the pre-class activity, or what would I like to learn today. You can use these as an assessment after the class as well, or a self-assessment on how the class went, or an assessment on the in-class activities, or just some of the reflections. So this will be a self-assessment poll, and we will save it. Which means that when you go back to Zoom, you will be able to see all of the polls you have used, and once you use it, you can use it several times. Next thing is to have your whiteboards prepared and ready so you can see them here, and the whiteboards that you would like to share with your participants so they can collaborate on it during the class, you need to enable the all participants can edit options. Lastly, you want to create your breakout rooms for your class. So you can let the participants choose the room, We will have 4 rooms in this session, or you can assign manually participants, which we will do for this session. So here you can assign prior to the class, or you can also do it during the class. You can rename your room to different names. So welcome to your actual class, where you have a few of your students, and here we will show you how to use the main functions during your flipped class. We will show you the poll option, the breakout rooms, and the whiteboards. So in the beginning of your flipped class, you can make sure to pin yourself so you are the main picture for everyone. You should also ask all of your students to change their screen names to their actual names. If it's not possible, you can yourself rename the student. You have your whiteboards previously managed and saved here. You can present the class first, and then you can go for the check-in activity where the students will be able to collaborate on the whiteboard. Make sure all participants can edit the whiteboard that they are supposed to collaborate upon. Now this is seen for all of you students. If a student is logged in to Zoom from their account from a computer, they will be able to add text to this whiteboard. If you have students that are logged in through a web browser or a mobile device, they will not be able to add text to the whiteboard. In that case, you as a teacher can do this exercise verbally and add the text yourself for the check-in activity. When you're done with this, you actually go into the main activity for this class, which are the breakout rooms. So the breakout rooms is a great feature that is enabled in Zoom, where you can separate your students into different rooms and give them different assignments and different activities. We recommend this because you can group your students on an easy assignment, easy breakout room activity, on a more intermediate breakout activity, and more advanced or even an individual breakout activity. So you as a teacher can pre-assign your participants to different rooms so you don't lose any time. And when you open them, all of your students, participants will get the option to join the breakout room. So here you can see that you are the only one left in the main session window. And now you have all of your students in different rooms. And as a teacher, you can join each room to see how it goes, to monitor your students, to answer the questions. You also have the option of broadcasting to all of the rooms and tell something to all if it's needed. So let's try and join the room 3. And now as a teacher, you can participate in the room. You can share a whiteboard with the specific instructions for this room, or for your students to monitor and write down their answers that they will later, after the breakout rooms, present to the rest of the class. You can manage your breakout rooms from here. You can move participants between rooms. For instance, if you notice that the level is too easy or too advanced for one of the participants, you can move them to a different room. When the time is ending and you're ready to move on, you close all the rooms and your participants will be able to leave them and return to the main session. And so will you. So here you are back in your main session. And by this stage, you are at the part of the class where the groups or the participants share their activity with the rest of the class from the breakout rooms. After this is done, you are in the end of the class where you can do the assessment or the quiz. So now you click the pulse where you have prepared your quiz, your assessment. We will choose the self-assessment for today. And we will relaunch this poll. So now all of your participants are able to give answers directly on their screens, and you are able to see the answers live directly on your screen. When you're done with the poll, you end it and you can share the results with the class, but you can also download the results so you can save this assessment from this class.